Hello there, and welcome to today's Hammerman for January the 30th? Yes, the 30th. So, as per usual, Hammerman not incredibly difficult at, stage 1. It's a good thing, because, for people who are of lower levels, they need to have a chance too. Now, I've moved all of my things away so that it's just pure defenses. I wanted to see how far into defending I could get with just, purely my, no prototypes, basically. My normal defenses. Just out of curiosity's sake, I wanted to know what would happen. Curious minds inquire something, I don't know. So the first couple, I'm just rolling through with standard defenses, and I gotta say, now that they're starting to get a little bit of a higher level, it really makes a difference. Like, I remember back in the day not being able to get past 3, and I wouldn't prototype, so sans prototype, couldn't get past 3, and well, that's not a problem I have anymore. And actually, I got a nice little gambit today of all the different little troops, and it was a nice spread. It's not like it was just Riflemen rush, all right. So, anyways, stage 2 very quickly comes to an end because, as you can see, I don't know, they're all dead. All the troops are dead. I see dead people. Well, dead tunes? Dead troops. Whatever, anyways. Stage 3 has, kind of a Noah's Ark thing going on here. I was glad they didn't include any other types of troops, because if they had, I would have had problems. I would have had to have started, resizing things just to get them to fit onto, my little insert card there, which is all kinds of crazy in the pants. So, again, everything coming up left-hand side, as you can see, my defense is just slowly doing work. Those rocket launchers just mess up the Grens, man. Look at that. I almost feel sorry for those Grens. I'm like, bros, you should join a union or something, because you need better health insurance. That can't be good for you. Being disintegrated by missiles? Come on. So, moving on to stage 4. Still going strong. I saw stage 4 had a whole bunch of Grens, and honestly, I thought, oh, poopy. All the Grens are gonna come and they're gonna kick my butt. So I switched over to my Gren-friendly base, and little did I know the Grens would be coming on wave 2 of the attack, making my my Gren-friendly base here not really that good. It worked through. I was able to power past it, but I feel like things could have been a lot more efficient, and probably it would not have been as close as it was had I switched back to my normal base, because then, the first wave would have just, skewered itself on mines, then the Grens would have hit, I would have been able to finish off the Grens with pew-pew-pew missiles, and everybody would have lived happily ever after. Now, because it was laid out the way I was, as you can see, I'm really down to 2 rocket launchers, and thank goodness for the drunken aim of the Grens, because that is about the only thing that saved me here. Because I'm down to well, now I'm 1 rocket launcher and 1 mortar, and the rocket launcher is just slowly working away on the troops it has over there. The mortar is slowly working away on the troops that it has on this side, and honestly, I feel like that mortar is the MVP mortar, because it just, like, it takes so much abuse, and it just keeps getting them out there. And it's funny, because I only really upgraded my mortars because I was like, oh no, I need something cheap and easy to get going because I don't have time to play and clear my map. So, what can I upgrade? Oh, okay, a mortar. That should be nice and easy. Let's go with that. Hooray! Man, the mortar came through. MVP mortar just friggin' won the baseball killing spree game for me, I guess. I don't know. So, with stage number 5, I saw kind of what was coming, and I was just like, nah, I gotta switch it up. I gotta go and whip out the Hot Pocket so that it can do some work on all of the craziness that's coming. Again, I saw the Grens, so I switched to the Gren base to find out, no, Grens wave number 2. Probably would have been better off with a normal base, but whatever, that's fine. The Hot Pocket kind of carries us through here. Like, I almost feel bad for these troops. Like, they even have medics kind of backing them up, but the sniper towers and the boom cannons and the rocket launchers are just slowly grinding away, like, just, you know, picking them off one at a time. And the medics are able to kind of keep them up to a certain extent. They can combat, you know, to a point, but then it all crumples in and goes kaplowy, which is a good thing, because that, like, for stage 5, I thought that was a pretty smooth defense. It seemed to work really well. Okay, stage number 6, I'm gonna just call this F the ants. That's the nice way of putting it. Yeah, man, like, the ants on this level are strong. Like, they do work. And as you can see, I kind of have, like, my Hot Pocket front and center just to take out the Scorchers and whatnot, and protected in behind the buildings. And really, it works out super smooth, because the Hot Pocket ends up taking out all of the Riflemen and Zookas and stuff like that, while the surrounding boom cannons work on the Scorcher. And don't get me wrong, the Hot Pocket does some serious work on the Scorcher too. But by the time that's all done with, I feel like the front layer is gone, and these poor riflemen are just charging in onto my rocket launchers, my flamethrowers, my machine guns, which just happens to be the troops that you want running into those defenses. So it worked out really, really nicely. I was a little bit worried about the numbers, but it looks like the tail over on the right-hand side to kind of like drag everything around and split the troops up. Looks like the tail did its job. It started pulling things around, and troops started going around after those useless buildings, and the rockets just kind of sat there pummeling away, taking them out one salvo at a time. Absolutely worked fantastically. Stage 6 cleared like a boss, and then we can move on to stage 7. Now, of course, stage 7 I actually had to take a few cracks at, so you're seeing the culmination of all of the good things that I could figure out, like which buildings were going to get hit by Barrage so that I could move them away, and, you know, where the heavies were going to get dropped. And I'm going to tell you right now, the key to this entire level: take out those freaking heavies before anything can get in behind them, because they have a buttload of hit points, but everything else that comes out for this entire attack after that is so nice and beautifully squishy that it's not nearly as scary. Like, as long as those heavies are down, you're golden. Like, look at the Hot Pocket just dealing massive amounts of damage to that entire wave. And then the next wave comes in and it goes off to the right, which is perfect, because obviously we want it to be distracted. We want it going over to the right so that our defenses over on the left-hand side can just kind of grind down all the Zookas that have been exposed by the dying Hot Pocket. Having the damage amp, I did have to drop the damage amp, of course. Well, move it, whatever. And You know, obviously with the damage amp, you want it touching the Hot Pocket and the rocket launchers so that you can really get your money's worth out of that bad boy. And as you can see here, like, the tail is coming in handy, everything's sort of going down there, but the rockets just pummel away as they go. Anyways, guys, hopefully you've enjoyed watching the Hammerman go down. Thanks very much for watching. Hopefully this has been entertaining. Hopefully it has been educational. And above all else, hopefully you guys have a fantastic day.